Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and thank you so much for your questions on my last tea time video. And today's video is finally the get to know me video, which I have been planning to do for years. Literally since I just started my YouTube channel, I thought maybe I should do a get to know me video. I think maybe it was about 2 years into starting my YouTube channel. I've been running this channel for about 6 years now. And I think on the second or third year, I was like, I need to do a get to know me video because I'm just uploading ballet seasons and showing you guys the ballet world. But I do want you to get to know me at this stage. I'll probably have to do another one when I'm older. But for now, I'm so happy to be back on here with you guys. I really am enjoying this and I can see the comments are coming in a lot more, which I'm very happy about. But I'm happy that my channel is, somewhat getting noticed a bit more within the ballet world and within YouTube in general. Right, so I know I said I would be eating pizza, but it's kind of early in the morning. It's not that early, but I just had breakfast. I just have coffee here. Something that I wanted to tell you guys, well, two things. First thing is, today is my birthday. Yes, it's my birthday. Well, technically, it's not actually my birthday the time that I'm filming this, but this video will be released on my birthday. I decided it would be nice to release it on my birthday. The get to know me video. It just seemed like it made sense and makes the day, something special for my YouTube community. But I will share this on my other socials as well. The other thing I want to tell you guys is to please watch my videos fully. That's one thing my channel is missing, is watch time. I need more watch time to reach my next milestones. Subscribers are coming in well. I'm getting good connection with people, good interaction, but I just need you to watch more videos. I've got tons of ballet videos of what it's like performing. I recently did some no commentary videos, which is quite interesting, so you can have your own thoughts when watching. But yeah, go see my videos, my shorts, and please have a good watch. Right, so in today's Get to Know Me video, the aim is to get to know me, right? But I think what's going to help with that is the questions that I have received from my tea time video. I'm going to answer them now. Before I get started, just know that I don't know how other ballet dancer YouTubers have time to upload so consistently. That's that other woman. Actually, let me just get my laptop. I know what her YouTube name is, but her full name, I want to see. Madeline Wu. Like, she is a dancer with, I believe, is it San Francisco Ballet? It doesn't say on her Instagram, but I know she's dancing with a professional company and she is a YouTuber and a very successful YouTuber. Look up to her. But how does she have time to do all this stuff? But she also does her own stuff as well. And that's what I want to do. I'm trying to stick to the ballet niche, but there's a lovely Marilyn Monroe pillow behind me. And I have a doll here that one of my good friends made me, Tammy. I was going to talk about my friend Tammy in a Laurentia video that I have coming up. We will get to the questions. I guess this is part of getting to know me, is spending time with me as well. So yes, Madeline Wu, she is someone I look up to in terms of YouTube, because she's a professional dancer under a full-time contract like me. I believe she's a principal. I am a soloist, which is still, I have more responsibility than most. But to be a YouTuber and be under a full-time contract with a ballet company is not easy. And then there's Catherine Morgan, who I absolutely love. And she's retired now, so she has a lot more time to be a YouTuber. And there's also Autumn Klein, who I dance with, the point shoe painter. Absolutely love her. And there's other ballet YouTubers like Laurie Hernandez. She's a freelancer, so she kind of runs on her own time. But yeah, I'm hoping to, be in the circle with these girls. There are some guys, there's the Ballet Bros. I do like them. They follow me on Instagram. And I actually did go to ballet boarding school with one of them. Oh, I haven't subscribed to them. Let me subscribe. which is a reminder for you to subscribe to me, please, and support my channel as it grows. I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to upload ballet videos, ballet content. Very exciting news is actually at the end of this year, I have a Sugar Plum guesting. So that will be a Christmas show that I'll be doing. So I'll be documenting that. You know, I love Sugar Plum. It's one of my dream roles. I will be documenting that. Okay, but now let's get into the questions because I'm rambling on a lot. So I have my Wonder Woman notebook here. Pretty cool. Pretty old notebook. Actually, this was the notebook that I planned 100 years of dance and fashion in. And you can watch that full video on my channel. I also released it in YouTube Shorts, but it'd be interesting to show you my planning. I just planned every decade, all the dance moves that I was going to do and what I was going to wear for each decade. So, yeah, like, how cool is that? I think that's from the 1940s upwards, but that full video is out on my channel and I'm very proud of that. I think I'll do another one day, but you know, it took quite a long time. So, and also I'm a soloist ballet dancer now under contract, so I don't have all the time in the world to do what I want. I would like to be here more for you guys, but I'm quite the chatterbox. So we're gonna start answering the questions. And thank you guys for the questions. You know, I love and appreciate you guys for that. And the first question I have is not really a question, but it's something that I can answer. And this is from years ago that I never got to. I did answer it with a YouTube short. And the question is, love your channel and would like to hear more about your journey. And that is from Stina Gryphone. So thank you, and that's a huge compliment. And you'd like to hear more about my journey. Well, actually, my journey has been very long, and I might come back to that question actually at the end because I feel like I might naturally answer some of that with the other questions that I got. My next question is from Pi Does Ballet. Thank you so much for your interaction with my channel. I see it, I notice it, and I really love it. And I recently followed you on TikTok. I love your content. And your question is, well, you had a few questions actually for me, which I like. But the first one is, how long have you been dancing? And how did you get into dancing? Well, it's a good question. So I've been dancing for professionally over a decade now. But altogether, I've been dancing since I was 4 years old. So I've been dancing for 24 years altogether. About 11 years professionally, and altogether 24 years. I've been dancing my entire life. And how did I get into dancing is the second part of this first question. I got into dancing because my mum always took me to, you know, hobby activity places after school. You could do gymnastics, you could do tap dancing, you could play football, you could do singing, I believe. You could do so much there. And I remember looking in on the ballet classes and I was like, gosh, I think it's beautiful and I have to do it. I know I was always performing at home. I would like use a briefcase or a chair and put on a performance for my family. So I think I was always meant to be on stage or in entertainment or performing arts. And I just saw ballet. I saw a ballet class happening, fell in love with it, and I was like, I have to do this. I believe my mother enrolled me in classes, and that's how I got into dancing. I started going after school. I believe it was 3 times a week, maybe twice a week. Went to the Royal Ballet, actually, because I'm from England. So I went to the Royal Ballet Associates, and I got better training to put me on a professional path. So that's actually how I started. And your next question is, did I always want to be a ballet dancer? I'm going to say that I pretty much, when I was exposed to it, I did. But I'm going to say no, I didn't always want to. I think I always wanted to be a performer of some kind. And then I was put into a category of ballet when I was, you know, aware of what it was. So I think I just wanted to be a performer. As I said, I would be dancing at home. I'd be dressing up in costumes. I'd love, you know, someone like Britney Spears or maybe Madonna. I know my older sister loved Avril Lavigne. And we'd always watch the music channel. So we'd see performers and singers. And I believe I was just an out there child to do with what I was watching on TV. I think maybe Broadway shows, showbiz in the West End I was inspired by. So if that makes sense, once I knew what ballet was, I was like, I want to do ballet, you know? And I know I loved the performing arts and Hollywood. Like when I was 14, I learned who Marilyn Monroe was, and I was obsessed with her. So, you know, I love ballet, but I think I just love the glamour of entertaining. You know, I think that's why I also started the YouTube channel, because a lot of my videos are entertainment as well as more formal videos. The next question was, how many companies have you been with? And do you prefer company life to guesting? Oh, that's a good question. So I think altogether I've been with a few companies. Let me count in my head how many companies I've been with. Altogether I've been with 6. I've danced with 6 companies. I've had experience dancing with 6 companies. Some of the companies was just from outside of school. You know, because I was with English National Ballet School, so then I got to dance with English National Ballet, you know? But I wasn't actually a member of the company. And then I went to other companies. When I was a teenager, I got my first professional job. I think that one was in Wales, then I was in Leeds. These are places in England. And then I traveled overseas. I went to South Africa, America. I danced with 2 ballets in South Africa, 1 in America. I'm still in contact with all of these companies. And the American companies, I still talk to a lot. I love dancing with ballet companies because you're under a contract full time. And now I'm a soloist with a ballet company, and it's the first time I've ever had a title, but I really had to work for that title over the years. My journey was not a straight line with the ballet companies. I had to go from ballet company to gain experience, and now I'm a soloist. I couldn't just stay in one place and do it. Oh my god, what is this on the floor? I think this is from McDonald's, from a Happy Meal. But actually, it was my roommate that got this, but anyway. I'm going off topic. Yeah, so I dance with 6 companies, and do I prefer company life to guesting? First of all, I'll tell you what I like ballet companies. What I love about ballet companies is that you are stuck in a contract and they do all the work for you. They do your roles, and if you're happy with what you're being given, then you can have an amazing time. But the bad thing about being in a company is you don't have much freedom. Maybe I want to travel. Maybe I want to go to Europe for a holiday. It can feel a bit like a prison. And I'm with a ballet company right now, and I do have a holiday right now, which is why I'm filming this great, amazing long video. But can feel a bit like a trap, I'll be honest. But the company I'm with now, I'm very happy. I love the dancers I work with and everything. I'm being cast well in roles and used well so far. I'm open to moving on as well. I'm always open as a dancer because I just want to be in the best place for myself. I do like to be under a contract with a company because you feel safe. And if you compare it to guesting life, it can feel very risky. Like you don't know what your next job will be. But freelancing can be awesome. I've freelanced a few times where I got a job where I danced in a bar with a famous film actor and a musician. Like that's awesome. I don't think a company would be able to do that for me. Like I found that on my own, and I made friends with actors, which opens me to a whole new acting world, and a musician. So that's awesome. That was when I was unemployed, and I loved that. I also got a Christmas gig this year with one of the top freelance ballerinas in London. She's my friend. Her name is Natasha Trigg. You can see her on Instagram. She is incredible with her contracts. She goes from contract to contract, and she's been freelancing for years. So she's an absolute pro at freelancing. And I don't know where to begin with that because I've mostly been with companies for the past decade. So I wouldn't really know how to start. But the fact that I went to ballet classes in London over the years, I made friends with Natasha Trigg, and she invited me to be her partner for Sugar Plum this year at Christmas. So she'll be the Sugar Plum Fairy, and I'll be her Cavalier in the Nutcracker Ballet. I will document all of that. I know some of you will be excited to see that because I love Sugar Plum and the Nutcracker. So to sum up my answer to your question, I think I personally prefer company life because I feel safer. What I liked about the American company that I was with, it was a full-time contract, but then I had 3 months off in the middle of the year, which some people didn't like because then you would be unemployed. But I like that because I feel like it gave me freedom to travel, to have a bit more of a life outside of dance, because I've been in a ballet company basically for a decade, and I will say I haven't been exposed to most of the outside world. So being in the American company, it was so nice. The 3 months I would do guesting in England. Remember, I did Giselle, the full ballet. I was able to go on holiday. I was able to make new friends. The older I get, the more I realize freedom is actually a blessing. But then, you know, having a contract is also a blessing because it's not easy to get a job. So I hope that answers your question. You know, me, I personally prefer company life. Some people might prefer freelancing, but, you know, it's pretty cool. I hope that answers that question. I love that question, thank you. And I love that you asked me more than one question. Really appreciate that. How long does it take you to pick up choreography? Do you have any tips in terms of remembering? That is your next question. So for me, I've been doing this my whole life. It doesn't take me too long to pick up choreography, but there are some dancers that are a lot faster than I am. Like they'll watch a combination and pick it up like that. But for me, what helps me is if I'm in ballet class, watching a combination, I'll use my hands. When the teacher or instructor is showing things with their feet, I'll use my hands. You know how ballet dancers do that. It's kind of like a secret ballet language. And doing that helps me learn choreography quickly. But my friend, she recently went to an audition with the Paris Opera, and she got to take ballet company with the Paris Opera Ballet. And everyone there in ballet just watched the combination and they didn't move at all and they would pick it up. So dancers are different all around the world, but that helps me to pick up choreography is to kind of watch the movements, do it with my hands. Though if I'm in rehearsal and there's a choreographer choreographing, I will kind of go over a little bit with my body. I won't be completely still, but moving helps me learn choreography. Gosh, I feel like I'm talking really fast, but let me know if I'm being super hyperactive right now. But I think I'm just excited to finally be doing this video. And if I have any tips, I would say use your hands and really zone in and focus on the choreographer or the teacher or the instructor or whoever it is who's showing the choreography. Really try and zone in and focus. Like, you might have been talking to someone seconds before the choreography is being shown, and it can feel distracting that way, but just really switch off and focus. And yeah, what helps me is really to use my hands, and then after they've shown it, try go over it quickly in your head and see if you know it. And if you don't know it, there's nothing wrong with saying, hello, excuse me, I don't have the combination. Please could you actually show it again? There's nothing wrong with that. And people love confident dancers that can talk here and then. So that was that question. I hope that answers that well, because that's what I do. Your final question was, do you ever get nervous on stage? And what's the hardest thing about dancing? Well, let me just answer the first one. Do you ever get nervous on stage? Well, I do still get nervous on stage, but it's a lot less than I used to. And I'll tell you a little story is why I stopped getting nervous on stage. Is once I was doing Peasant Pas de Deux a few years ago in Giselle, and the audience was not very nice actually. Like, Peasant Pas de Deux is actually a very hard dance, and the audience wasn't really clapping or helping. So in my head, I thought actually the audience, like, I didn't really like them too much, sorry to say. So I was not nervous and I just kept dancing. So since that show happened, before every show I think, what if this audience is really rude? Which is a weird thing to think. Like, I'm not a psycho or anything, like, but come on, if the audience is not appreciating what I'm doing, then of course I'm not going to be nervous. And it made me realize that not everyone out there in the audience is going to appreciate what I'm doing or appreciate my dancing or even like my dancing. So why am I getting nervous for someone who probably doesn't even mind or care what happens? That is a very weird way of thinking about it, but unfortunately that's what happened to me, and that's why I don't really get too nervous anymore. Of course, there's people that love and adore what I'm doing. They show me so much appreciation. I got so many comments on like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, people who love and follow my career, and even strangers who tell me I love your dancing. So that is probably 2% of people that don't like it. But I actually don't get nervous for the 2% because I feel like, okay, I'm going to show you what I can do, and I'm not afraid of being hated on. So maybe that is a little bit of trauma, but that in a strange way is why I don't really get too nervous anymore. And I also don't get nervous because I enjoy it. I enjoy what I'm doing. If I'm playing a villain in a ballet, my God, there's nothing to be scared of. Like, you are the villain. You're causing trouble in the story. Nothing to be scared of. I think it's more scary playing the good characters like the prince or the good fairy tale characters because they're so good and they're smiling a lot, and that can be scary, more scary. But I do still get nervous. I guess it depends what I'm doing, and yeah. But I hope that answers your question well. I don't really get scared as much anymore because obviously I've been performing up my whole life now, so the more you perform, the less nervous you get. But I guess it depends. Maybe I'm dancing something I've never done before, something very difficult, or something that's really challenged me, then yeah, I will be nervous, but not as nervous as I would be, say, 5 years ago. And I think this is actually the final question, is what is the hardest thing about dancing? Now, this is a very broad question. I could talk about this for probably an hour, but I'm going to try my best. The hardest thing about dancing is sometimes not always the physical side. Sometimes the hardest thing about dancing is the mental side. And I don't talk about this, but it can be so hard you need a very strong mindset to be a professional dancer. Dancers don't always talk about this, but mental health in ballet is completely one of the hardest things to conquer. Like, you might have people that are not exactly helping your career, and then you have to go on stage and perform with that, or that can be hard. Or maybe you're in ballet school and you're not having an easy time with some of your friends in class. Maybe it's getting competitive. So because that you said what is the hardest thing about dancing, it could be all kinds of things about ballet. I think a hard thing about dancing is trying to be perfect as well. That's also a mental thing. Looking in the mirror and thinking, oh gosh, my body's not right, I want to be thinner, or I want to be stronger. I wish I had, a smaller waist or broader shoulders or something like that. So there's so many hard things. Like, if you've seen Black Swan, that whole movie is kind of about the mental health, about the character, right? So I'm leaning towards the mental side of dancing. I think that's harder. Then obviously the physical side is very difficult. Like, being able to do ballet physically is hard. Being able to do the movements, being able to stay on the music, being able to physically lift your leg at a certain degree, being flexible enough, being strong enough, being tough enough inside and in the head. It's way too much to think about all at once. But this question is very difficult to answer. But for me, the hardest thing about dancing is all the mental stuff. It's what someone may think about you. you know, what you think about yourself, what you want for yourself, where you envision your career. It's just a lot on the mind because ballet is physically, you know, unnatural. And, you know, you want to be perfect. And it's not easy. Like, I will say I've been through a lot, but I'm proud of what I've conquered. And I hope that is a good answer to your question. I feel like I could do a whole video about this topic, and maybe I will. But for now, the mental side, I think, is the hardest. So thank you. Those were questions from Pi Does Ballet. I love your TikTok, and thank you so much for your questions. I'm just actually looking at you now, and your name is Pi. So thank you so much. You're so sweet, and I really appreciate it. And let me know if you want to know anything else. I'll be so up for a collaboration one day. Maybe not anytime soon, maybe soon or in the future. We could definitely do some kind of live chat or interview or something like that. So thank you, Pi Does Ballet, for asking me those 6 questions. You also asked me to answer the questions that I mentioned in my tea time video, and I'll do that at the end. I'll just answer this other person's question. And this question is from Matthew Byrne H1E. Thank you for your question, Matthew. And you are saying, what is your most favourite ballet performance that you've been involved in and why? Okay, so let me think. I've been in a lot of performances, but I will say my favourite ballet performance, you know, I really enjoyed. First time I did it, it was so fun. I'm gonna say when I guested with English ballet. I did a video on it. Swan Lake, I really enjoyed that version of Swan Lake. I know this is immature, but it kind of reminded me of the Barbie movie I watched when I was younger, because there was a different cast for the Black Swan and the White Swan. And I would consider myself a very mature person. I know that, you know, there might be a Barbie here, and I think in life I'm going to collect Barbies even as an adult. But when it comes to analysing my future and my career, I'm very mature, and I've planned my career very carefully, and I've got plans for my future that I'm even doing now for my ballet career. So I think I'm a very mature person to plan my future and then execute that. I'm also very mature in terms of sorting things out. I know I'm going off topic, but as immature as I may seem, I would say I'm more creative and more of a happy person. I could also blame my parents for my incredible childhood. But back to the topic of my favourite ballet performance, I will say that version of Swan Lake so far was my favourite because it was with my best friend and my other friend, and it's an iconic ballet story, and I got to be the prince in Swan Lake, and it was my favourite. And I made a video about it. I'll put it, you know, so you can see it. You can go watch that on my YouTube channel right now, and you can see how much fun I had. And that was all the questions I got. So I'm just going to answer the questions that I said I would answer from myself. And I said, what age did I start dancing? I started at 4 years old, which I kind of already answered. And what is my favourite role that I dance on stage? Right now it's between 2 roles. It's Frondoso from Laurentia. Laurentia is a very interesting story about peasants revolting, and she's iconic, Laurentia, but that's her love interest, Frondoso. And I was inspired by Ivan Vasiliev doing that role, and I love it because I did a moustache like him, and I watched him to copy his masculine mannerisms, and I executed that on stage. But then I also, you know, between dancing King Oberon from Midsummer Night's Dream, that is one of my favourite roles I ever did. King of the Fairies. I love fairies and mermaids, if you didn't know, so being King of the Fairies in a ballet was definitely a dream come true. So for a favourite role, I'm going to say King Oberon. I'm going to say. Question for myself is, who's my favourite ballet dancer? Okay. My favorite male ballet dancer is Vadim Montegurov. Funny story is I worked with him a few times. He's a Russian principal ballet dancer with the Royal Ballet. And I met him a few times and worked with him. And on my birthday, funny because today is my birthday. Well, the day this video is being released is my birthday. But on my birthday, I had his biography and he signed it for me and he said, "Happy birthday." And he's just an amazing dancer. He's long, beautiful legs. He's kind of like tall like me. And I look up to him in that way because he's the most beautiful dancer. He's flawless. I love all the roles he does. I follow his career. I even comment on his posts. And because I've met him a few times and he follows me on Instagram, which is amazing. So that's a dream that he follows me back. So I consider him a friend. And I feel like if I messaged him, he would reply. So Vadim Montegurov is my favourite male ballet dancer. I also love Calvin Royal III. He follows me on Instagram too. He's a principal with American Ballet Theatre. He's black and he's like got a thin body like me. So I look up to him because he shows me as a black male, you can also make it and be like thin like that. You don't have to be like super strong, which I'm trying to get into the head of all ballet companies in the world. Like your strength is inside. It's not always visual. Like I can lift a girl with one hand above my head, but I don't look like the Incredible Hulk. So I love Calvin Royal for that reason, you know, because he's black. I can't just name one favourite dancer, okay? He also commented on one of my Instagram videos and I was fangirling to the max. I'd love to meet him one day. I will be going to America a lot in life, so, you know, wearing my New York top here. I also have a New York travel vlog I released recently. You can go watch that. But yes, Calvin Royal is definitely hands down one of my favourite dancers. Another male I liked was David Halberg. He's now the artistic director of Australian Ballet. But when he was a dancer, I loved him. I still love him. He's just beautiful feet. Looked up to him a lot. So obviously Carlos Acosta, you know, first black ballet dancer with the Royal Ballet. I love him so much, and I'm actually trained with a woman called Chilean Estevarez, who I did an interview video with on my channel about ballet dancers and the brain, about mental health. She danced with Carlos and went to school with him in Cuban National Ballet. I love Chilean. She's a close friend of mine, and the fact that she knows Carlos Acosta so well is amazing. I know that Carlos is the director of Birmingham Royal Ballet now, but Carlos Acosta is the reason I started dancing as a child, because I saw him as a black ballet dancer and I was like, he also influenced me to do ballet. My mother and I also went to watch a ballet about his life. I think it was called Acosta Dance years ago. I saw him dance Romeo and Juliet with Tamara Rojo in the Royal Opera House when they were with the Royal Ballet. I need to slow down. Talking at full speed, but guys, I'm excited. But yes, Carlos Acosta is hands down one of my favourite dancers. I would say those are my male dancers. I also like Ivan Vasiliev. When I was dancing the role of Frondoso, I loved watching him and I follow him on Instagram and I just think he's awesome. There's a lot of ballet dancers I love, hey? As for female ballet dancers, I love Misty Copeland, you know, one of the most popular black ballerinas with American Ballet Theatre. I love that she has her own Barbie. Guys, I need to get the Misty Copeland Barbie. If any of you, obviously no one's going to order that for me. I'm going to have to get it myself. But if you want to get that for me as a present, I'd love you. Anyone watching. And I would do a whole video about that Barbie. I should order that and open it. Misty Copeland, hands down one of my favourite ballerinas. Beautiful. I love that she was also in movies as well. I love that. I also really love Tyler Peck. I love everything about her. She reminds me of Autumn Klein, the poetry painter, who I got to dance Sleeping Beauty and Sugar Plum with. Autumn Klein was the first ballerina I did Sugar Plum with. Like, can I be a fan of someone I dance with? Yes, I think so. I also really like Monique Christina. I'm dancing with her She's in the same company that I'm in with at the moment. She's beautiful. Oh, sorry, someone texted me. We're becoming friends, guys. I'm feeling like I'm being crazy here. The topic, who was I talking about? Favorite female ballerinas. I also love Natalia Osipova. She has amazing artistry. I watched her produce Cinderella in the Royal Opera House, and I remember when she was in rags and she got turned into the beautiful tutu ball gown and how she was looking in the mirror. I love Natalia Osipova. She has some of the best artistry ever, and she dances crazy. You know, I love that. I love her. I also love Isabella Boyston. I always don't know if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but she's also with American Ballet Theatre. I absolutely love her. There's also another ballerina I like. She reminds me of Pearl. Like, you know Pearl? It's a horror movie. She's with American Ballet Theatre. Let me just Google her because I follow her on Instagram. It's Moira, and she has black hair. I won't find her, but I'll put her in the comments if I find her. I really like her vibe. She kind of gives me a ruthless vibe, like she's gonna go for what she wants. And I love to see that in a dancer, is ruthless determination and ambition at all costs. And I love her look, her dark hair. My final question is, where do I aspire to be in the next 10 years in ballet, professionally, and in my personal life? Well, I'm a soloist now, which is one step away from a principal. So hopefully in the next 10 years, I aspire to be a principal with any ballet company. And even if I don't get a title, I mean a principal in a sense. I've done so many principal roles, so I'm a principal. I now have to do basically everything technically. That's where I aspire to be. But I also aspire to be fulfilled in my dance career, happy. I hope that I've done so many roles that I'm proud of. I've actually already done my dream roles, but I hope to do some more villains. I hope to do some more main leading roles, even supporting roles I love doing. I hope to add more to my repertoire. And I hope to be more well known on YouTube as a ballet dancer. And in 10 years, I aspire to help more dancers, young dancers, with their career advice, and older dancers even. Anyone who loves ballet, I hope to be helpful and a friend and a notable ballet dancer in the world. But also in real life, I just hope to be on a principal level. And that's me. I answered all of my questions. That was like a lot of questions. How many was? I answered 10 questions actually. So that's nice. 10 questions seems perfect for my first Q&A. But I really enjoyed that. I know I said I would order pizza, but you know, I kind of had breakfast before filming this, so not really that hungry. I went to the gym yesterday with my friend, and that's really weird. Like, as a ballet dancer, I do go to the gym, but not that often because I don't have time. But it was interesting. So my body's a little bit sore. Why you might have seen I was stretching for a bit. But I hope I answered those questions well. If there's anything that you would like more clarity on, like a question, please comment below or message me on my socials. You can message me on Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook. Just go for it. You know my name. But I think I answered those pretty well. Please remember also to like and subscribe. That's very helpful if you're new here. And check out my other dance videos. If you want to see videos of me dancing, I have loads. Someone said they would like to see more of me dancing. I've taken note. On my TikTok, I was doing loads of dance videos and I posted them over to my shorts. But yes, I will obviously keep dancing in future and showing you my dancing. But because I'm actually working full-time under contract, it's not easy. Like last week, I just finished one of the most difficult ballet seasons. It was my first full contemporary ballet I ever did. I was on the cover actually for the ballet, like you can see. That's me on the cover. I was also on billboards, guys, in the city. Like, how cool is that? Like, I have the program here. That's me on the cover. My face is covered. But I'm here, I'm in the program. Like, that's Miles Carrott, that's me. People even recognize me. Like, that's so awesome. They're doing the Carmen season next. Like, I have a 3-part series of Carmen on my YouTube channel. So that ballet is amazing. You can go watch those videos. But yeah, so I'm recovering now. I have a bit of time. But I really enjoyed this video, guys. And I hope you're getting to know me more. I feel like you do know me. Like, I'm a little bit wacky. Not wacky. Quirky, crazy, creative. Those are the words. But, you know, if I'm a YouTuber, you want to see my creative mind, don't you? You don't just... Of course you want to see ballet, but ballet is very disciplined, restrictive art form and takes a lot of dedication. And I have made it in the ballet industry. And I'm going to be a principal one day. Follow your dreams, guys. You can make it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've watched till the end because I do need help with that on my YouTube channel. Please wish me a happy birthday. I'm sure I'm going to post something on my Instagram today. So, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm happy for another year. Thank you for my messages. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here and following my YouTube. And I do love you guys. I am going to go now. I'm going to get ready to go out and enjoy my holiday, hang out with some friends, and I have some phone calls I need to do. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time for more videos. My next video could just be a ballet season, but I told you my ideas, but we'll see what my next video is. Keep an eye out, hit the notification bell. Yeah. Bye. Bye for now.
You understand what I'm saying? Use what you have and turn out. Jesus, she heard you. Excuse me? She heard you. We all heard you. You don't have to speak to her like that. Anyone can see.